A very good afternoon, everybody. We are going to start with Java today. In my previous tutorial, I have just given a brief description about OOPS introduction, OOPS concept, what are the different features of OOPS, and how these object and classes are working together and they work together and how the objects communicate by message passing. This was just a brief introduction of the concept of OOPS. Now, what we are going to do, we are just going to have the entire elaboration of Java. Starting, I would like to tell you that Java was developed by Sun Microsystems in 1991, and later it was acquired by Oracle Corporation. It was developed by James Gosling and Patrick Norton. It is a very simple programming language. Writing, compiling, and debugging of this program is very easy in Java. It helps to create modular programs and reusable codes. The most important thing that we see of Java that it is platform independent. Now, before we start learning Java, first we need to get familiar about Java. That is JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine helps us to compile the code. Now, when right now I said that Java is platform independent. When we talk about platform independent, actually, I would like to tell you that it is not platform independent. It is JVM dependent. Now, the bytecodes which are released by JVM is accepted by any platform. This is what we call it. And every OS has its own capacity of handling the JVM. We are going to see how the JVM is used to compile the code. This is generally referred as JVM, and before we discuss about JVM, let us see the phases of the program execution. Now these the phases what we have inside are we write the program, then we compile the program, and then at the end we run the program. Now when we write the program, generally writing of the program is done by a Java programmer just like you and me or any person who is working on Java. Now compilation. Compilation program is done by the Java compiler which is known as Java C. Java C is a primary compiler, Java compiler, which is included in Java development kit. Now it takes the Java program as input and generates the Java bytecode as output. Now proceeding further, JVM executes the bytecode generated by the compiler. This is known as the running phase. Now the primary function of JVM, which we understood, is that it is to execute the bytecode produced by the compiler. Each operating system has different JVM, or we may call it each operating system has its own JVM. However, the output they produce after execution of bytecode is same across all the operating system. That is why we call Java as platform independent. And whenever you read about that, if somebody tells how we can call it Java is platform dependent, we call it actually it is JVM dependent, and every OS has its own JVM. This is what we call it. Now proceeding further bytecode, we discuss as we discussed above. Java C compiler of JDK compiles the source code into bytecode so that it can be executed by JVM. So that it can be executed by JVM. The bytecode is saved in a .class file by the compiler. Now let us know what is JDK and what are the JRE. JDK, that is known as Java Development Kit. While explaining JVM and bytecode, I have used this term various times, and now let us, as the name suggests, this is the complete Java development kit that includes JRE, that is Java Runtime Environment, compilers, and all the tools like Javadoc, Java Debugger. Now, in order to create, compile, and run program, we need to have JDK installed in our system. Now JDK, you can have different versions of JDK. which we are going to discuss later in our section system, that when I am just going to uh, execute the program. Now talking further about Java runtime environment, JRE, it is a part of JDK, which means that JDK includes JRE. Now when you have JRE installed on your system, you can run a Java program, however you won't be able to compile it. JRE includes JVM, browser plugins, and update support. When you only need to run a Java program on your system, you would only need JRE. Now these are the basic terms that come choose as a beginner. For complete glossary, you can just follow the link. Now the complete documents of Oracle is attached here. You can check it here. Now proceeding further, let us have a look to the Java features. Feature of Java. Java is the first most important thing that I have explained. I have introduced. Java is a platform independent. Java is a platform independent language. Compiler Javac converts source code .java file to the bytecode, or it is also called .class file. As mentioned above, JVM executes the bytecode produced by the compiler, and this bytecode can run on any platform such as Windows, Linux, or Apple operating system, which means a program that is compiled on Windows can run on Linux, uh, and vice versa. Each operating system has different JVM. However, the output they produce after execution of bytecode is same across all the operating systems. That is why we call it Java as platform independent, or we call it Java as JVM dependent language. Now proceeding further, Java is an object-oriented language. This is what we have discussed in our first tutorial, the entire concept of object-oriented. In object-oriented, when we are talking about the object-oriented, the first thing which I would like to tell you is that object is the main part, which we call it instance of a class. Now talking about the class is just a collection of data types, variables, and methods or functions. Now the four main basic concepts of object-oriented programming are abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Abstraction refers to hiding the internal details and showing the essential feature. That is what is known as abstraction. Encapsulation refers to just capsuling the data types and variables and functions together under a single unit, that is class, that is known as encapsulation. That means when we are making a class, we are actually capsuling the things. Inheritance is inheriting the property, or enables the property of reusability of code in Java. When we talk about the word inheritance, it means that inheriting the property of previous generation. Similar wise, what happens in Java, that means if any class is there and we have declared variables and method in that class, and when we inherit that class, that means whatever is written in the public part of the previous class is inherited, means copied in the second class. Polymorphism generally, poly means many, morphism means forms. Polymorphism is taking more than one form. In this we have dynamic polymorphism, static polymorphism, overloading, overriding. Then overloading, we have function overloading, operator overloading. So this is what are the main basic concepts of Java. Apart from these, we have dynamic binding, message passing, data hiding. These are just the internal structures and hide inside these four characters of object-oriented programming language. Now proceeding further, I would like to tell you that Java is very simple, and it is considered as one of the most simple language because it does not have any complex features like operator overloading, multiple inheritance, pointers, explicit memory location. Then Java is very robust language. Robust means reliable, energetic language. Java programming language is developed in a way that puts a lot of emphasis on early checking of for possible errors. That is why Java compiler is able to detect errors that are not easy to detect in other programming languages. The main features of Java that makes it robust are garbage collection, exception handling, and memory allocation. Now, proceeding further, I would also like to tell you that Java is one of the most secured language. We don't have pointers and we cannot access out of bound arrays. You get array index out of bounds exception if you try to do so in Java. That is why several security flaws like stat corruption or buffer overflow is impossible to exploit in Java. Java is distributed. Using Java programming language, we can create distributed applications, RMI, remote method invocation, and EJB, enterprise Java beans, are used to creating distributed applications in Java. In simple words, we can say that Java programs can be distributed on more than one systems that are connected to each other using internet connection. Objects on JVM, Java Virtual Machine can produces execute procedures on a remote JVM. Now, multi-threading. Multi-threading is one of the most important part, and I have discussed it in a separate section as well. Java supports multi-threading. Multi-threading is a Java feature which allows the concurrent execution of two or more parts of a Java program for maximum utilization of CPU. Any single work which is allotted or any single work which is being done, that is known as the single thread. Now, in Java, we can have multiple threading. That means more than one work can be allotted to the CPU for execution. Then portable. As discussed above, Java code that is written on one machine can run on the other machine. The platform independent bytecode can be carried to any platform for execution. That makes Java code portable. So this is all about the features of Java and a brief introduction about JVM. We are also going to deal about JVM in our further chapters, and we have seen what is the bytecode and what are the JDK, JRE and features of Java. In our further chapters, we are going to discuss JVM, Java Virtual Machine.